Hi there, I'm Mike of Nearly Enough Dice, and this is the Kerbal Space Program. I am in the science bit because I've got 504 science. I need side things what I want. I'm currently going to go for precision engineering for a reason. I get some nice things. Get a nice where's the nice probe? The Probobodyne Hex is a good probe body because it allows me to do prograde and retrograde hold. That gives me extra bits of control on burns and such. The LV1 engine and the LV1R, which is down there. Some fuel tanks, smaller stack decupper bits and pieces. But the main thing is that I have installed myself a bit of a mod. Specifically, I've installed Chaos, which is a means by which you can write programs for your Kerbals. Yeah, what does Octo do? So, and I basically doing my moon landing. I recorded 3 episodes in one day because I wanted to do the whole mission, and that meant that even taking into account the idea that I might want I want to be a day ahead, which means that if I need to take a day off, I can take a day off, and I can still have episodes go up every day. That meant I had a spare day in hand, and I didn't have to record an episode. So obviously, I did the obvious thing, and instead of playing Kerbal Space Program, I played Kerbal Space Program. Oh, supersonic flight. That's quite tempting. So tempting, I'm going to take it. Oh my god, I can get another thing! Oh, so much science from the moon, so much! Yeah, I just bought myself a nice big engine. No, what did I just buy? I bought supersonic flight. What do I want? So many things. Well, actually, I can also start looking up in here, and because I'm not actually bound. Actually, no, I can't because I don't actually have enough to go into that row. So I could have gone into that row if I wanted to. Jumbo Max 64 fuel tank. Advanced control. Nook 1 lander can. Another small monopropellant. What does Werner engines do you use? Linked to RCS, but are powered by a fuel oxidizer mix to make them significantly more powerful. Better parachute. Crew capacity 3 command pod. Now I'm gonna start wanting stuff like this, because I want to start making stations. I want to start making stations. I'm going to go for advanced electrics. I think I'm pretty much going to need everything in that particular list. Ooh, ion propulsion. Ooh, shine. Unmanned tech. Ooh, the Octo. High altitude flight. Anyway, so that's me buying science. Now the mission I'm going to run, essentially there are 2 things I want to do at the minute, and this is related to the fact that there are in fact 4 currencies in career mode in Kerbal Space Program. Those currencies are money, which you use to buy the ships in the first place. So that's why this is going to cost me 78,000 Kerbal bucks to launch. And admittedly, I've got 1.4 million, so that's all right. There's science, which I just spent in order to get this new scientific achievement. There's reputation. Not quite sure what reputation is for. I think reputation allows you to get better missions. You can also use the admin building to click that. You can use the admin building to redirect some reputation to money or science, which I'm not going to do right now. I've completely forgotten what I was. Oh yes, I was going to missing job. See if there's anything particularly I cared about. Not really. I might as well take that one. Well, in fact, that would almost pay for this trip if I get to do it. So there are basically, but there is a fourth currency, which is pilot experience. If you want your pilots to be, well, your Kerbal experience, if you want your Kerbals to be good at stuff, you want them to be able to, you need to get them experience in order to get them good at stuff. So there are two things I want to do with a mission, not necessarily this mission, but, well, with this thing. I either want to get more science, or I want to get a Kerbin who does not currently have lots of experience, some more experience. The question is how to do that. Now, I am going to grab my KR2042B scriptable control system, which is tiny and wee, actually. That is a little crazy. Maybe we should just bolt it onto the side. Can I bolt it onto the side? You would appear not. Oh, I'm going there. Sure, the whole thing won't break. Sorry, I just distracted myself. That's not what I was talking about at all. So, right, to get science, now there is actually quite a lot of science I can get out of the moon still. Okay, I went to the Highlands and I could only get to one biome. So if I can get myself to another biome, and I have a nifty little biome map on my tablet here, I can find a biome where I can find a place to land on the moon where there's actually several biomes, and thus I can get more science. Even more if I can get a rover on the moon, which is a thing I might want to do. But from Jeb's point of view, Jeb is currently my most experienced Kerbal. Jeb. Jeb's my most experienced Kerbal, but he's only, level 1, he's only 1 star. And he has got all the things he can get from the moon. He can't get any more experience from the moon. So, really, from point of view of pilot experience, I want to send Jebediah to Minmus, because then he'll get a bunch of experience and probably go up to level 2. That means he's going to be able to do more things when he's in the pilot seat. From pure science point of view, there's a lot to be done on the moon, and each of these individuals who aren't Jebediah Kerman will get a chunk of experience points from. Quite frankly, they'll go up to level 1 just from going into orbit, and then, if I get them to the moon, they'll get a chunk of experience points. If I can get to the point of one of them planting a flag on the moon, they'll get a whole heap of experience. So, it's all an interesting question. What do I do? Do I go to Minmus with Jebediah, or do I repeat with my other crew? I'm also going to have a go with my programmable thing, just because. I'm not going to use it for many things. I've got just a couple of programs. Ooh, that's interesting. That might be a thing that doesn't work when it's in the VAB. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to call it Chaos And I've made another change. I made another 3 changes. I've changed those engines down, so instead of being great big huge mighty engines, they're ickle tiny engines. The same engine as is on the return stage. Because when I was trying to land, then I just had all those problems because I had so much thrust that I couldn't actually go in. I mean, I couldn't really control my landing properly. These struts were attached. Well, they were only attached here, but they weren't attached here. So I've added some more struts to maybe make the thing less wibbly wobbly. And I've also placed RCS down here as well as up here. So when I'm in my transfer stage should be easy to maneuver. That's the plan anyway. Let's give it that. So, do I go to Minmus or do I go to the moon? This thing should get me to Minmus. Let's go to Minmus. I think repeating, although I mean I'm going to have to decide whether or not you're going to be interested enough in watching me do other moon landings. The other advantage is if this control thing does not do what I think it should do, then I've got Jeb on board, who's a really good pilot. So there we go. And I've also adjusted the staging because I had a really stupid bit of staging going on. Yeah, those are separate now. So, list files. So yeah, what this mod does is it gives me, you know, I can click on this and I get some stuff here. Then I can bring up a terminal and I can type in commands. Now I have at the moment 4 programs in here. One of which is literally just almost a hello world. I just realised my face is up in this corner where you can't see things. I think I may need to put my face somewhere else. Anyway, so I can list files. I've got some files. 3 of these are ones I've written myself. One of these is auto launch. It's someone else. I'm actually only keeping there because I want to examine it and study it and dissect it and use its bodily parts for my own purposes. That doesn't sound wrong at all. What I'm going to be using is what's called PID test, and I'm copying these now from the archive to the actual ship itself. Test 2 from 1. That's 0. List files. So I have some files now on this. That's on the ship itself, and people have made very, very impressive chaos files. You can write your own autopilot. Now here's where it goes. I'm just gonna quick save. Oh no, actually you have to be out of the. There you go, quick save. People have made very impressive things that do, you know, entire missions, but I'm not quite that far. I have, however, made a launch program, which I didn't run because you need to put a full stop and then everything. Right, so hands free. It's going to go up. I've forgotten to do a thing. I should remember to put my throttle down to 0 before I launch. Okay, and it's failing. It's not controlling it. Oh dear. This might go horribly wrong. Gemini's happy. So it's currently going the wrong direction. Oh, I wonder if I've unbalanced it in some way. That would be the most I may have unbalanced it somehow. I should have done. I didn't think I added anything that wasn't properly balanced. But at 10k, it's gonna make a change, which may or may not make a difference. So it's giving some information. There's some stuff. I don't have the science for this, but in the version I was working on, he was actually using various sensors to work out exactly what thrust it can go at, because you can actually you don't need to go full thrust most of the time. In fact, I probably don't need to go full thrust now. I'm probably wasting a lot of energy fighting against drag. It should be trying to steer. I'm going to put the RCS on. Right, so I've made it very difficult to steer, or at least probably about as difficult to steer as it always was. And it's not staging. Sweet. Oh well. That should have staged. That's interesting. I'm going to have to check on that. So there you go. I'm gonna have to do some more testing. But hey, what the hell? And if it doesn't work, I'll just fly it manually. So as you can see, it kind of did a variation. Oh, look at that! That's awful. A variation of the gravity turn. It's possible that my ship is just really badly designed. It did at least a variation of the so-called gravity turn, and it's meant to do another one soon. It's a little bit more steerable within this state, but obviously not very much. Maybe you should have got some of those what are Voronoi engines? I can't remember what those called. Maybe I should have got one of those, because I do still have abundant fuel, and using those on those external tanks would give me quite a lot of maneuverability, while at the same time, yeah, it's trying to move towards a horizon angle. So hands free. You can also see that it's counting up the apoapsis, so it's keeping track of the apoapsis, and it's aiming towards a starting orbit of 100,000 meters, so 100 kilometers. So basically, it's going to burn until the apoapsis gets to that. But I will get into orbit. My apoapsis is now over 770k, so my apoapsis is at least outside the atmosphere, so there's that. Why did it not stage? It might be that when I was playing with this in sandbox mode, obviously I just get all the things. I don't have to research anything. I just get all the things. So it's possible that the version of the programmable thing, there are things it can't do, maybe. But that's okay, I'm just playing with it. To be perfectly honest, in career mode, I don't think I'm going to be using all that much, unless I come up with some really, really brilliant things. My apoapsis is not going up as fast as I would like. I would like my apoapsis to be going up faster than this. I have to click off it, and then I can get my well, I'm getting a very flat trajectory, if nothing else. Oh, okay. Now what's happened is, because at launch, right, the program's finished, which you can just about see there. It then immediately turns the craft to the state it was at launch, and at launch, I hadn't throttled down. At launch, it gives you a throttle of about a third or a half or something. And I should have throttled down at launch, then started it to go, because that way, at the moment, if I don't do that, when it finishes the program, it just immediately goes back to what it was, which is generally not what I want. So I'm just going to clear the screen. I'm going to run a thing called node test. And node test is all about circularizing the orbit. So it's created a maneuver node, and it's, fiddled with the maneuver node until it's pretty circular. And now it is trying to move the ship towards the maneuver node. Because my ship is great big huge and wieldy, it's taking a long time to do that. Use up quite a lot of monopropellant. But I've got 4 minutes to get there, so I'm not too worried. Now, what is slightly cheaty about this is that good old Jeb himself does not have the ability to fixate towards a maneuver node. So I think he actually needs to be third level, needs to have 3 stars, which is some enormous amount of experience points. I need to get him up to 16 to get him to the next level. Because at the moment he can go prograde and retrograde and stable, whereas I wanted to go. The next step is prograde, retrograde, stable, and then the 4, normal in, normal out. I can't remember what the other 2 are called. Radial in, radial out, I think. Another thing I need to add to this script is you can actually control time warping. So it'd be actually rather neat to be able to say, if you have a next node and the next node is 4 minutes away, go to this level of warp, and then come out of warp when you're like this many seconds away. So this will take a little while, which I can actually probably wait till it's actually on the maneuver node and then time warp. Ooh. Is the ship under acceleration? Just gonna go out of time warp again, give it a chance to see if we can get any closer. 10 on us, yes. Right, so it's coming up to the burn, and it's doing the burn. And it's, because it's a great big huge unwieldy ship, it's having difficulty following the maneuver node as the maneuver node changes. I've set up so it goes to about 90% of the burn, and then it slows right down and then follows, so the maneuver, you can follow the maneuver node around. It's going to go down until there's a very small amount of burn left. It's not going to be hugely perfect. Is that going down still? Is that going up? Oh, I've run out of monopropellant already. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to Control C, going to quit that program. I'm going to get rid of that maneuver node. go back to. So I've still got a fair amount of fuel left. So now, so there you go. That's a demonstration of what you can do with chaos. I'm not doing too much with it. I'm just playing around. So what we're actually doing is we're going to see if we can get to. Oh, where's my paramps these days? I'm going to put a node here for no good reason. Wait. Alright, so that's it getting actually beyond the orbit. Right into it. So now what I want to do is I want to move the node around. Until it tells me I'm getting an encounter, which would appear to be there. So no chaos anymore, so I'm just going to get rid of this and not play with it anymore. But like I say, there are people who actually they do whole missions. So you would have a thing which essentially does what I just did, right? I want to go to Minmus, right? Okay, so I'll make a node that will take you to the orbit of Minmus, and then go. Oh, here's an encounter, and so on and so on. Okay. Now my big question at this moment is, do I use what remains of my... I think the answer is yes I do. Do I use the remains of my orbiter fuel to pull me to Minmus? Push me to Minmus, really. Because yes, it's a great big huge ugly, maybe I just need big reaction wheels. Maybe I need to just change the thing so I've got a big wacky set of reaction wheels in there somewhere. I think I'm just too used to having reaction wheels come free with the control capsule. I'm not thinking actually reaction wheels are a thing I need to add. Come on, you can do it. Actually, let's just go to prograde and let Jeb sort it. Because quite frankly, it's going to be a program. It's only a program maneuver that I programmed in. So again, lessons. Possibly, I want a ship that is more maneuverable in space. Either by adding, I could do it by adding a lot of monopropellant because that actually didn't work too badly when the monopropellant was there. But that's a big lump to set up an orbit. But then so are reaction wheels. So reaction wheels are going to be huge lumpy thing. The advantage is that the reaction wheels run off electricity, and electricity I'll not run out of so long as I have photovoltaic panels, which I do. You can see that the maneuver node is getting gradually closer to the prograde. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to be programming chaos. I mean, I do like it. I'm wondering if I need to be quite that far outside the orbit. But I think I'm not going to fiddle with my maneuver node at this point. But I mean, simple things like, creating a creating a node following thing. So if I have a node ready, it'll automatically burn it and do it probably better than I can. I like the orbit, the way it dealt with that orbit. I really like that. There are some fiddly things I need to do with it, but I quite like it. It's better at it than I am. That was very pleasing to be able to do. Would have worked better with a more maneuverable craft, obviously, but you know. Ooh, I'm getting a moon encounter. Do I want a moon encounter? According to this, it's not setting me off my way to. If we go off a little way. It has the advantage of shaving a little bit off the prograde. Yeah, this ship is a great big huge monolith. It's a big lump of iron to swing around. And I've only got the reaction wheels that are in the crew thing. So I might, a thought might be to put reaction wheels right on top of this. So that'll get chucked. But obviously that's, it's more weight. It's always more weight. I'm going to go for stability right now, and then for prograde. See if I can't get rid of some of this wobble. That's pretty good. What's my estimated time? So I'm within a minute. I want to go at about 15 seconds. Of course, I very much doubt I've got a minute worth of fuel in this thing. And see now, because I've used up all my monopropellant, my RCS is actually useless. So the other possibility is to, again, use those Werner engines down this end. Use up probably not very much of my ridiculously large amount of spare fuel. Right, at 15 seconds, I'm going to go whatever bloody direction we're pointing in. Seconds actually. There we go. Actually, I do want to be in this mode. Getting quite a lot done. So yeah, I had quite a lot of fuel left. So I'm doing well over, well, nearly 2/3 of the burn with fuel that was basically spare. Wow, I might get the whole thing. Oop, that's not what I meant to do at all. Now, what I might learn from this is that perhaps I don't need to have quite so much fuel. Although it does make me slightly confident that I'll be able to do some of these missions that I have planned. And because I want to take extra stuff. I want to put a rover on the moon. I want to put I'm eventually going to start to want to put stations in orbit of various bodies and such like. I'm beginning to think that's probably about as good as I'm going to get. If the maneuver node keeps, or the maneuver indicator keeps jumping around like that, I'm going to go with that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Thank you very much, enormously overfueled thing. Your contribution has been noted and will now be ignored. Right, so it's telling me I'm not going to get a let's go prograde. And it's currently telling me I'm not getting an encounter, which is not what I need to hear right now. Okay. Well, might it be better to do a maneuver out here? That's not quite what I wanted. Right, that'll give me an encounter, which is what I want. And I can get myself away. Get myself in orbit. I don't want to move that along. Yee! Oh lord, what have I done? I think I've broken it. Right, let's just go with that. That'll give me an encounter. Let's just go with that. So we'll point ourselves to the maneuver node very, very slowly. Oh, not quite sure why everything's jiggling around a lot. It may be as simple as it's just not quite sure where everything is. Well, I'm going to leave it there for the moment. I've got my burn, which will take me into the vicinity of Minmus. I should probably check my Minmus map to see where would be a good place to put myself in order to get as much science at one point. Because although the main thing here is to get Jeb a lot of experience, I also wish to get as much science as I can cram into the thing. Right, so thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit like and subscribe and all that kind of good stuff if you've been enjoying these videos. You can find us at nearlyenoughdice.com, which has a lot of our role-playing game themed podcast and blog. And finally, until we meet again, I have been Mike of Nearly Enough Dice. And remember, no matter what you do, always reach for the stars.